Good morning. Wait a minute, hold on. Make sure I got it right. Okay, it's 11:49. You know, this time change has me all thrown off. Good morning, beautiful people. So, it seems like on my end that I haven't uploaded, talked to you guys. I just feel kind of out of sorts here lately. But I believe I am back. That's what I think. I am committed to being back. So today I am going to one of my girlfriends, one of my dear girlfriends. I've been promising her that I was gonna make some curry smothered turkey wings, some cabbage, and macaroni and cheese. And so that's what I'll be doing today. Will I be recording it? Probably not, because it takes a lot to try and record doing all of that. So, what's been going on with you guys? What have you been up to? It is November. Of course, we are now deep off into Scorpio season because today is November 4th. Today is Tuesday. Yeah, today is November 4th. And we are deep off into Scorpio season. And only a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving, which is mind-blowing for me. So I am going over to my friend Patricia's house. Her daughter Shay invited. These turkey wings look kind of, these turkey wings don't look kind of small to you guys. They don't look kind of small. Maybe they are. She invited me over for Thanksgiving, so that's where I'll be spending my Thanksgiving. And I forgot, what is it that I said I was gonna make? Am I making the macaroni and cheese? I gotta figure out, remember what it was that I said I was gonna make. But nevertheless, back from all my traveling, and as I said previously, I am done with traveling for the year, and it's time to really get focused on getting this house in order. So that is my focus right now. Hold up. I'll be back. I need to do something. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I had to get my life in order. Anyway, so today I was having a very interesting, intimate conversation with one of my close girlfriends. And we were just talking about life, marriage, relationships, and, things like that. And I was just thinking just now, I remember whenever my YouTube channel first began to take off, I got a lot of criticism. I'm going to say a lot. I got criticism for some people who said, only thing you talk about on here, every time I come on, the only thing you talk about is a man. And And so I started to be very cognizant of that and shy away from having relationship conversations and, you know, talking about my experiences and stuff like that. But this is my damn channel. And I'm going to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about whenever I want to talk about it. So in the conversation I was having with my girlfriend today, it just, and not just the conversation that I had with her, but just life lately and being observant of, you know, what's going on around me and in the world. And yes, that includes, you know, going on with people that is well above my pay grade, but most specifically women. And, you know, it's true that now women, especially Black women, we are more educated. We're making more money. We're really excelling at life whenever it comes to, you know, certain luxuries, purchasing homes, you know, of course, like I said, degrees and stuff like that. And so we have far more to lose than our mothers and grandmothers and mothers and grandmothers and, you know, all of that. Far, far more to lose. We're purchasing our own homes. We're buying Mercedes, you know, Lexus, Porsches, or whatever. And while it used to be a time that women were touted as being gold diggers, now as women, we have to admit that now we have to be very careful because we are being targeted by men. And the fact that we as women love so hard and we desire love so badly, we are very vulnerable. To a degree, we are more vulnerable than men ever were. Oh, please. Okay, I'm back. And the reason I say that we are, oh, please. Okay, we're cooking with gas now because I didn't want to keep touching my hair and I'm touching food, especially food that I'm cooking for somebody else. So the reason I say we're more vulnerable whenever it comes to being used and abused than men is because we want love so badly. And so many times we will allow a man to manipulate us because in our mind, we go into marriage and relationships with this being forever. And unlike before when we often didn't have a choice in the matter and we would have to stick and stay when he cheated, when he had another family, you know, all of the outside babies, verbal abuse, mental abuse, all of that great stuff. Not only do we not have to take it anymore, we don't take it anymore. So therefore, we often come into relationships with just as much to lose as him. And sadly, nowadays, sometimes more to lose than him. So the conversation that we were having was about, you know, marriage, blending incomes. And let me say this is something I do believe in. And a lot of people say that they do it, and I know that they don't do it. I firmly believe that once you get engaged, not get married, but even before then, you need to pay attention to
Mrs. Hayes.
Oh, please. This is my girl. I don't want to record our conversation because we got some intimate stuff going on. I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I'm back again. I don't even remember where I was. But anyway, we have so much more to lose these days. And I used to be one of the girls who didn't believe in prenups, and I just said if you wanted if we had to get a prenup, then that means that you didn't believe in our love and you didn't trust me, and this, that, and the third, and I don't trust you, and this, that, and the third, and all this other stuff. Baby, let me tell you something. Thank God for, number one, social media and divorce court and all that other stuff, because as much as you love a person in this day and age, you have to be a realist. And being a realist means that, unfortunately, there's no 100% guarantee that you're going to stay together. And as well, you can love a person and be in love with a person, and y'all can have an amazing years or whatever, then things fall apart, and whenever it comes to love and whenever it comes to money, you will often, I'm not going to say you will often, but a great many times you will see a totally different person whenever it comes to divorce, it comes to breakups, and all of that. And Georgia is a state where you split the assets. If you have a house before you get married, then that house remains yours. But if you buy a house together, even if the wife's name is not on the deed or the loan or whatever, if you buy a house together, whenever you get a divorce, you split once you sell the house. Now, I do believe, and don't say that it's firm, but I do believe that, let's say as a woman, you put X amount of dollars towards the down payment, or all the money in down payment. You can recoup that money back first, and then whatever the profit is after that, split. But conversation I was having is that a lot of times we women, and it's not always the situation. Sometimes he has stuff and you have stuff. And then together, sometimes, what I'm going to talk about is, ladies, don't sell your property. Especially if it's paid for, or if the mortgage is low and you can rent it out. The conversation should be, we can rent out my house, buy us a house, and my house can be considered an investment property. But too many times, I have talked to women, had conversations with women who had their own home, cars. They had everything before they married. Sometimes he didn't have as much as she had. So he was really coming up. It was a win-win for him. But you know how we say, it's ours, and you can't think like that whenever, you're going into a marriage and blah, blah, blah. Baby, these now in 2026, 2025, love is beautiful, but marriage is a business situation. If you don't think it's a business situation, look at how couples, whenever they get a divorce, how they fight over money, fight over assets. Someone goes in and withdraws all the money out of the joint account before the other one does. Someone stopped paying this or stopped paying that. Sadly, too often, it's not like it used to be. Too often, a man will be caught cheating multiple times, have an outside baby and all this other good stuff. And then whenever you divorce, he playing victim, and he want to take you all the way up through there. So my thing is, ladies, protect yourself. Even if you are not a millionaire, if you're just a thousandaire, but especially if you're one of these sisters that's out here making six figures, you got a degree, you got your master's degree, you got this and you got that, whatever, and you're going into a situation with a man who is not equal to you financially, and he doesn't have nearly as much to lose as you do, I believe in prenups. I believe in prenups. I believe writing it out, making it plain and clear. If we get a divorce, then this, and this. If I am making, especially if you got joint checking, joint savings, if I'm making $170,000 a year and you're making $60,000 a year, and we have, then that means that the whatever the percentage is when we divorce, that's the it shouldn't be split down the middle. You get half and I get half, and no, because I've put more money into it. So no, it shouldn't be split down the middle. Watching Why Did I Get Married To? That should be an eye opener. Hold on, let me rinse. Why Did I Get Married To? That should be an eye opener as to what can happen. You know, he had his job, he made very good money, but she had major book deals that she worked hard for. And whenever they decided to, a divorce, he wanted a percentage of her money. And men are petty nowadays. Men are not like the men that were my father, your father, whatever. Men are very petty these days. Men want women to be old school in how they cater to and treat them, but they want everything to be split 50-50 down the middle whenever it comes to money, divorce, bills. They're not protectors and providers like they used to be. Some, I'm not going to say all, some, a lot, are not protectors and providers like they used to be. So my thing is, ladies, especially in our age, there are a lot of men that are opportunists. There are a lot of men that see, it's so crazy because a woman, if she in a conversation says that, she went to Spelman, she has her master's degree in whatever, if she's making six figures, she drives a Porsche Cayenne, she has a $300,000 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath house in Stockbridge. She's a Delta, aka whatever. If she speaks on those things, we can't even speak on how much we love to travel, where we've been, because it's looked upon by men as bragging. But men can say, all the things that they have, and they're looked at as being what is it, the term that, a high value man. So he can say, I went to Morehouse and I have a degree in computer science, and, I drive a 2025 Corvette, and I have a motorcycle, and I have a boat, and I live out in Sugar Hill, and I am an Alpha Phi Alpha. He can say that, and he's looked at as being a high value man. But we have to dumb ourselves down, and we have to reduce ourselves and minimize ourselves to support their ego, because anytime you say something, oh, you're one of those types of women. Whenever I mention, I've had two men where I mentioned that I love to travel, and oh, you one of those types of men. You ain't one types of women. You got to date a man who got a passport. Well, yeah, to be quite honest, yes. And that's something that I have committed to, is to stop reducing myself and minimizing myself and censoring myself to what's the word for it? Concerned about a man's ego. If he can't deal with it, because that's what you want. You want a woman who has all these things. You just don't want her to say that she has these things. But a man, you see him on social media, or you see him on these dating apps, and they love to take a picture in front of their big house with their big cars behind them. But then when a woman wants him for his money, it's an issue. But ladies, whenever you get married and you have all of these things, protect yourself. In this day and age, the probability of divorce is very, very high. Protect yourself. And if he has an issue with signing a prenup, they're real quick to say, well, y'all women do it too. I hate that. Y'all women do it too. Well, you know what? Y'all men do it too. If he has something to lose, then he wouldn't have an issue with it. But if he ain't got nothing to lose and everything is on you, he may balk at it. But if he really, really loves you and he feels like y'all are going to be together, then he shouldn't have a problem with it. Because too many times these Negroes will go out here and they will cheat on you. They will mishandle you and everything. Then whenever you get ready to leave, they want to play victim. And then they want to take you on up through there, even though it's their fault that you've reached the point that you've reached. So that's my TED Talk for today. Ladies, protect yourself. Don't sell your house. Rent your house out. If you do sell your house before y'all get married, and put that money, invest that money in something, and make sure that that money is just yours. I don't know what I'm not going to tell you what to do, but what I'm going to tell you is, ladies, not only protect yourselves, but talk to your daughters about protecting themselves. Please talk to your daughters about the very thing that I'm talking to you about, because we fall in love and we just, that's the only thing that we know. I love him and he loves me, and what's mine is his and what's his is mine. But only thing he got is 2 trash bags full of clothes with some J's, Air Force Ones, some Timberlands, some couple of polo shirts, and a gaming system. He don't even have furniture. He has nothing, but you don't invite him into your house, and you've basically inherited another child. If that's what you want to do, by all means, that ain't my business. But I will say, as your big sister, your little sister, your in-between sister, whatever it is, protect yourself. So I done cut up my green peppers. I have sliced up my cabbages. So I'm going to make the what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and season the turkey wings and brown them on both sides, and make my roux and everything, and put them on and put it in the oven, because I'm going to put it on real low and let it cook for like maybe 5 hours, because I want it to fall off the bone. And then I'm start preparing my macaroni and cheese. I'm going to prepare the macaroni and cheese and just let it soak up all the flavors. So I'm preparing macaroni and cheese, slide it into the refrigerator for a couple of hours, then put it in the oven. So it's by 12 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, everything should be done. And I will check back in with you guys later. Love you, bye. Oh, real quick, y'all stop using pre-shredded cheese, because pre-shredded cheese, it has cellulose in it. Look it up. Yeah, look up cellulose. Cellulose comes from wood chips in trees. They put it in the cheese to keep it from clumping together. So in essence, you're eating wood. That's why it doesn't melt as well. Just get you if you don't want to get a cheese grater like this, get the one you can stick the cheese in and and it cut it for you, but stop eating wood. Okay, that's it. Bye. Got it. Now, if you burn trees, devil's lettuce, as Tabitha Brown say, that's your business. But again, stop eating trees in your cheese. All right, bye. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but parquet and margarine and all that stuff that's not real butter, yeah, it's cheaper, but it's plastic. And when I say plastic, I mean for real plastic. Because you can sit it out and leave it out for years and it won't mold, it won't do anything. So I haven't used anything but real butter. I know, let's see, I'm 55 now. About 20 years. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's more healthy. At least you would know you're not eating plastic. Okay, I'm for real. I'm done this time. Let me work on this macaroni and cheese. I'll holler at y'all. Bye.